Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Retirement SOS. I'm Ernie.
I'm Beth. This is Ruby. And summer has finally arrived. So in celebration, we're going to do something a little bit different today, not too serious. We're going to delve into a little bit of a mystery with Ernie.
And Beth, happy summer to you.
Thank you.
And lately, I've been having the most unconnected, random thoughts of my past pop into my head. And it seems like I've been getting more and more of them since I retired.
Are they nostalgic?
Well, that's the thing, is that they are not nostalgic. They're just obscure, and I don't understand what triggers them.
Well, I think you're going to have to give us some examples, and maybe I'll play the role of Dr. Freud.
So Beth, let me give you the first example. Let's go back to Hallandale, Florida. This is the early 1980s, and my parents used to have a condo in Hallandale for many years. So in the morning, I would walk to the beach. I'd spend about an hour there, and then I would walk back. So on my way back, I'm walking on Hallandale Beach Boulevard, and I cross the Intercoastal Bridge, and I see in the distance a guy looking at a piece of paper. So I'm walking towards him, and then he stops me, and he asks me for directions to this particular condo that wasn't really too far from my parents' condo, so I was gladly going to help him out. And he was applying for a job as an assistant superintendent. So we were walking, and I'm learning things about him. And I could tell that maybe he came from a poor background. He was in his early 20s, but he had this special quality about him. Like he had a really, really nice smile. He was so optimistic about life. And, you know, by the time our 20-minute walk was over, he'd learned a lot about me. I'd learned a lot about him. And I wished him good luck in applying for the job. Now, I hadn't thought about this in 40 years, and suddenly this thought came back into my head. So now I've got this curiosity. I wonder if he ever did get that job as an assistant superintendent. And I'm also wondering, you know, what his life was like. And I don't understand why this little 20-minute piece of life appeared again after 40 years in my head.
Out of nowhere. Well, maybe it's just triggered by you're less stressed now that you're retired and you've got time on your hands to think about things in your past. And that's what popped into your head. So you have another obscure little memory to share?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? But I'm going to make it quick. When I was 20 years old, I accepted a position with the Hudson's Bay Company in northern Manitoba. So I flew into Winnipeg that morning, and then I had the rest of the day to myself because my flight wasn't leaving until the next day. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do here? So I thought I would venture down to the Manitoba legislature. The strange part of this story and thought is that I went inside the building, and I hear it's really, really beautiful, but I don't remember anything about it. However, I remember something really obscure. I just remember sitting on a park bench outside the Manitoba legislature, watching 4 birds playing and taking food from this guy that was throwing bread at them.
So you don't remember touring the building?
No.
Just the birds.
Just the birds. And once again, it's an obscure snippet of my life that popped into my head. And this happened over 47 years ago. And again, I hadn't thought about it in such a long time.
It sounds like these events were hidden away in your subconscious, and they're coming to the surface now because you're retired. and there's less clutter in your brain when you're retired. So you're able to think about the present, but you're also probably thinking about the past with a clearer mind.
So you're saying it's a cause and effect of retirement.
Exactly. All these little obscure thoughts are maybe popping up to the surface, things that you haven't thought about in years. And the fact that they're positive ones is nice. You don't want to be dwelling on bad thoughts, but little obscure, funny thoughts are okay.
Okay, good doctor. Thank you very much for explaining that, because I just can't figure out why these things are popping into my head. And you're right, I do like them.
Well, thank you for watching. And if you want to psychoanalyze Ernie's little brain pop-ups, please do so in the comments. So until next time.
Bye for now.